Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Lost Initiative, where we are playing Aurorum Mole Remnants. It's Book 1 Mole Remnants, Season 4, Episode 1. That's where we are. Season 4, Episode 1. It is crazy to think how far we've come. It is exciting. And I'll tell you exactly how far we have come as a society. Not only can you get Mott's no sugar added applesauce, you can get Mott's cinnamon applesauce. You can even get Granny Smith applesauce.
I'm having flashbacks to the applesauce discussion that I apparently had fully blocked out. I had zero memory of why people were talking about applesauce. Now I'm remembering. We are 4 adult men doing a D&D stream advertising applesauce for free.
Wade, no, I'm with you, Wade. I did not remember it. So
blocked out completely.
Wade and Jake, who it doesn't apply to because he lives in another, planet. There was also strawberry and blueberry applesauce, but I could not bring myself to buy those ones. But I did get the other two. So I'm excited to say I've never tried the Granny Smith applesauce before, and I'm going to try it right now on stream for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is what
this
we
is riveting.
For.
Check out Mott's applesauce. Use code Distractible, which probably won't work, but you never know, on checkout because maybe they'll sponsor us one day. Lost Initiative, not so much.
All right. There should be stakes on this.
Especially
if it is better than regular applesauce, what is the reward? If it's worse than regular applesauce, what is the penalty? Or vice versa.
You like it or you wasted your money? What are you putting on the line here, man? It's your applesauce.
I was going to say, maybe a +1 modifier for somebody's fortitude save.
Yeah, I ain't taking that.
I'm good at that already.
Actually, I won't lie. Granny Smith one is pretty good.
So what did we win?
Oh, nothing. I didn't waste my money, according to you.
You're welcome. Great. Well, I'm glad that we all got to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yep. Stay tuned for the next one where we will maybe play D&D. Go be nice to Blue Aether, who maybe isn't live yet. Listen to her crazy. Rules.
I spent the whole session as Aldo. That was fun. Is this what it always feels like?
I thought I looked more tan.
All right, there we go.
I'm still bald.
Yes. Yes, and always will be. All right, cool. Gentlemen, congratulations. You leveled up at the end of the last session. I believe everybody's already fixed their levels except for Jake. Still hadn't picked a feat unless you guys talked him into it while I was upstairs grabbing my food and stuff.
We talked, but it's not our job to convince. It's his job to be the man he wants to be.
Well, Wade, do you want to
decide after this HP roll? Then that's what it's going to be.
Wade, why don't you tell us what your choices were? Roll your HP, then we'll do Keegan, and then we'll do Jake.
Chad, I hope you were saving money for some HP rolls because we might need the help. This is very important for all of us.
Somebody already delivered.
It's for real.
Somebody already delivered an HP roll.
Is that because they have no faith or because they know how important HP
I don't know who they gave it to. I don't remember if they have to give it to a particular person. I'm looking now. But
while you're looking for my character,
Aldo.
Scott surprised me last session or 2 sessions ago with a preview of something we'd been talking about off stream, which is the feat I went with, which was Cleave. Koa is an invulnerable rager, not a normal barbarian. So he also gained resistance to cold. So now cold conditions as low as -55 Fahrenheit, because that's what America does is Fahrenheit, won't affect him. It's like normal weather to him, which is kind of wild. And then skill points, I mean, nothing that fascinating. Should I go into all the different things I put?
No, you don't have to do it unless there's like a highlight you care to mention. Skill points.
We now do have someone in the party with craft carpentry. We're leaving the adventuring life. We're retiring as heroes, and we're making chairs.
Finally.
One day I'll find a feat.
Wait, we've got you to make the chairs. Yeah. We've got Keegan and me to advertise them. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. No more breaking curses, none of that shit. Tired of it.
Yeah. Mikhail brings in the crowds, and I lie to them about how good these chairs are. You know, you're just starting out, but these are the best chairs. Exactly.
These are, in fact, the best chairs. I made them myself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We tried. As we saw, didn't care for it. Too much pain, not enough profit.
Yeah, we saw the views. You know, when we were doing the furniture stream, we just figured it made sense. Yeah. Like, let's just go all in.
Imagine having a Valiant Few recliner.
Now sold in bulk.
Could be yours.
Sorry. All right. Wade, you want to go ahead and roll your health points?
Here we go. Okay, so to roll health on this, I just click
hit points. I think.
Hit points. Okay. All right, I'm rolling a d12. Show me a lovely big number. 7's not bad.
Ooh. 7's not bad.
Oh, you've got a.
Yeah. You do not have to choose to re-roll that yet. You can say, I'll wait to see what happens. I will say that so far you've already been given a re-roll by W. Biggs, and you've also been given one by Norway.
Biggs.
So there's 2 in the pot
Biggs
right
and
now.
Norway both, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
One was technically given to Aldo, but if Aldo doesn't need it, it can go on to somebody else. And the other one was given to, geez, you know how it is, whoever.
Who's that? Do we have a guest today?
I'll take it.
All right, cool. So wait, do you want to re-roll now, or do you want to just wait to see
I'm
how
going to hold on.
out?
It's
I'm fine
right
with
at
it.
that
This is all meta
mark, but I'll hold off.
All good, sir. Okay, so Mikhail, want to tell us the big decisions you made? I know you're still missing one thing because you're hoping to get back to Hod Gwen to finish that off, but beyond that one thing, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I took the lingering performance feat. So now whenever I stop doing a bardic performance, it lasts 2 additional rounds. So that's dope. I also got for 3rd level bard, I got Inspire Competence.
Hold on. Let's circle back to that for a second. It's not when he stops playing, it lasts for 2 additional rounds. If he is smart with his playing, which it's Keegan, obviously he will be, he can play for 1 round, let it last for 2 more, play for 1 round, let it last for 2 more, play for... So you can effectively triple how much bardic performance if you have the ability to jump in and out that frequently. You don't always have that option, but you can effectively triple your bardic performance. It is amazing because he can do things like, well, I don't think you can double up on bardic performance, so you can't like do one and while that's lingering switch to another one. You can only do one at a time, but it's still like it allows you to say inspire competence and then go do the thing. So, but anyways, keep going.
Yeah. Like, that was at a Inspire Competence is the class ability I got. Yeah. So I can actually give people bonuses on skill checks, +2, while I'm doing the bardic performance. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the lingering performance because a lot of times, not all skill checks are like a 1-round thing. So it allows me to inspire competence for something that may take a little bit longer if I use a few rounds rather than being like, oh, I use all of them for over the like next minute and now I'm out of rounds for that one skill check. I can stretch it out a bit and like actually help out on certain skills.
Yeah, the cool thing too is because it's competence, it stacks with many other sources of bonuses except for like items. Usually items will give competence. It doesn't usually stack with items, but other items, but other things it does, which is great. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they do have to be within 30 feet and they have to be able to see and hear me. So it's not like I can play in another room and it works kind of deal. I took the spell Hideous Laughter, which is a fucking great spell.
It's hilarious.
If it works, they can't do anything. The target starts laughing their ass off, they fall prone, and they get to make a save again on their next turn, but it's 4-round action. So it's very good for denial. It's quite good.
Imagine if we had that against the trees.
Spells like Hideous Laughter.
If
as a bard, spells like Hideous Laughter are one of the few things that make me want to get meta magic feats. Because like Hideous Laughter with the ability to cast subtly, so like Silent Spell is a great one for Hideous Laughter because it allows you to cast it but then say something at the same time, so you can say something to them that is effective, eerie, so on and so forth, while triggering the spell. Like I don't know. Hideous Laughter is one of those ones that can go very well in the right moment. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, what's nice is like, I do have Spell Song, which I haven't really used, but it does allow me to disguise spell casting as part of a bardic performance.
There you go.
So I can kind of cloak it if I need to. And I also got cantrips, message and light, because I forgot to add my bonus cantrip last level. So I've got 2 now. And that, I think, is everything I gained that level.
That spell light, that wouldn't have been helpful in the last adventure. Not in the least bit. No, not at all.
Maybe a little bit. And if you're wondering why'd you get light if you already have dancing lights? Light lasts a lot longer, and I can cast it on like an object or a person. So I can do things like cast it on like a crossbow bolt and then shoot it way further than my dancing lights would normally go and like light up a distant spot.
Mm-hmm.
Or you cast it on one of us. We go to talk to Curve Rock, and he thinks that we're an angel coming to retrieve him, and he just dies on the spot.
Well, you can cast light multiple times
idea.
too. See, like casting his glasses, his shirt, his pants, his watch. You know, like make him really light up.
All over
My
the place.
God, his dick is glowing.
But yeah, I don't have to like babysit the lights, which is nice. So that's me.
Cool.
Hit point roll.
Hit points. Oh, hey, that's great.
Ooh.
That's
We're keeping that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
you guys rolled
Yeah,
the
we're
same.
keeping that.
Yours is better.
Oof.
That's awesome.
Can
Okay.
I rage when I roll hit points for the extra?
Hell
con?
yeah.
No, you get it after. All right, cool. Jake.
Yeah. Well, the big thing for me this level, because I haven't fully committed to a feat or anything, is I got a level. Technically, it would be a level 10 advanced rogue talent, which is I get at level 3 for being a charlatan, and it's rumor monger, and I'm able to spread rumors, which is going to be fun because we're going to do it for both fun and necessity. Right, so it's a big thing that happened with me this level.
So rumor monger is insanely
Yeah.
good because of the structure of a deer. So in a deer, technically speaking, even Hodgwen is not a city. It's a large town, which means the DC to use rumor monger is only a 20. Just to jump in front of you real quick, rumor monger, with this talent, you can spread a rumor through a town or larger settlement by making a bluff check. You can do so a number of times per week equal to your charisma modifier, which for him it's like a 3, he'll call it. I forgot to update the picture. Damn it. Which should be at like, I think a 3, so 3 times a week. The DC is based on the settlement, and it takes a week for the rumor to propagate through the settlement. If the check succeeds, it is practically accepted as fact within the community. Succeeding by 5 or more over the DC increases the time it takes for the rumor to propagate, decreases by 1d4 days. A failed check means it fails to gain traction, while failing by 5 or more causes the opposite of the rumor or some other competing theory involving the rumor's subject to take hold. So the thing is, with it being a DC 20, what is Aldo's bonus to bluff?
10 at the moment.
So that is level 3 is 3 ranks, plus it's a class skill, gives you 3 more is 6. Plus you have a +3 charisma modifier, gets it to a 9. And then I assume you have a trait or a feature or something that gets you that additional 1.
Yeah, I have a +2 to charisma, but I have a feat, the deceitful feat.
Oh, okay. So
+2.
1 less charisma, but 2 from the deceitful feat is a +10.
Yeah.
So that means on a place like Hodgwen, it's a 50-50 shot, unmodified. It's actually not, that's a lie. It's a 55% chance you hit it without any effect or whatever to it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Unfortunately, your friends can't assist you on this. They can't aid another because they lack the ability to do this sort of a thing, so they can't aid you. It's a you thing. But that's still pretty amazing. And you can do it twice a week, which is still pretty amazing. Yep. As with any other ability, always be careful. If the rumor you spread ever comes back to you and so on and so forth, always be careful about that stuff. But you can really impact the way that the viewpoint of individuals or people, overall vibe on a situation. You can fairly frequently beat that check by 5, allowing you to reduce the days it takes to settle in. Like, that's pretty awesome. So what feat did you say you selected?
I haven't committed fully to a feat as of right now.
Oh, what feats do you already have?
What do I already have?
Hmm?
I have at the moment deceitful, toughness, and bludgeoner.
You took toughness. Interesting. forgot that you did.
I
that.
did. I have
And
no
you needed it.
con bonus, right?
Yeah,
the
no.
flat con.
You've needed it consistently. So right now
Yeah.
you finally caught up to toughness, where it's only +3 health points. But starting next level, it does the benefit, of just +1 each level after next. Starting next. Cool. So, and what was that last one again?
Bludgeoner.
Which, when you do bludgeoning damage, it allows you to not take the penalty for doing non-lethal damage.
That's correct, and I can sneak attack
And you can
damage
sneak
as well.
it. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So that way your character doesn't have to be a murderer. That's cool. I like it. Chat, hearing those are his feats and that's his vibe and what he's going for. Feel free to toss him suggestions. Keegan, I'm gonna roll your heal check. Then I'm gonna kick a question back over to Keegan because I know he'll know what I'm talking about before anybody else.
I roll my hit points now.
Please.
Yep.
4 out of 8. That is just under half. There are 2 rerolls sitting out there. As you guys are contemplating who's going to take them, let me ask Keegan a question. Keegan, I believe for Wade, it's already calculated into his level so that he just gains it as a skill point every time. But what did you spend your racial class bonus for? Your racial favored bonus for? Sorry.
An extra cantrip.
Favorite class bonus, which might be racial related. Go ahead.
It was an extra cantrip.
Oh, okay. And is that because you're human that you get that option, or okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I kept
bard.
saying racial because I knew it was associated with. Whereas I think Wade went with the generic one, which is just extra skill point each level. Aldo, what did you spend your favorite class bonus on? Which I think you go generic as well.
Skill point, yeah.
Cool. Perfect. All right, we have 2 rerolls. Wade is at the worst roll right now. It's 7 out of 12. He's off by
I'm still
5.
over half.
Yeah,
Jake,
you're off by
below.
5.
But if you want one to try to get Aldo up, I mean, go for it.
Remember, if you re-roll, you keep the next roll, even if it's lower.
Yeah, that's a hard part, right?
Yep.
So I don't want to roll like a 1. And then,
I feel that. I'm scared of re-rolling a 7.
Yeah.
But also, I take a fucking beating every session, it feels like. So it's like every point I get matters.
If it makes you feel any better, you're not Keegan. So you're going to go above it too.
That doesn't feel like a guarantee. It just feels more likely.
Today I rolled a 7, so I'm gonna just take that for my hit points. I'm gonna just enjoy that.
It's not even like evenly divisible by 2, so it's not even like a joke you can make. Like, oh, it's 4 2s. Anyways.
All right, chat. What do you think? Yeah, you can use multiple rerolls, Hammerhead, but we only have 2 in the bank right now. So
correct. Yeah, and chat can keep giving them throughout the whole session.
We can keep getting rerolls. It's just if we run out of rerolls, then we're stuck with whatever the last one is, which is scary.
Yeah.
Stop at a 7 out of 12.
I mean, 7 out of 12 is mediocre.
Average.
You absolutely should roll again. But if you want to give it to Aldo first, go ahead, Jake.
Well, so if I roll and I get really low, then
roll again.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but then I kind of screw Wade out of his.
Oh,
his
Wade already has like
right?
48 health points or some shit.
28.
Yeah, but he doesn't need them.
So after
if
you
we're
got the
being
10, what does it
real.
bring you to?
One of us has to
yeah,
roll
Wade,
with the back of our minds. If we roll worse, we have to roll again. Like one of us has to take that risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. 2 hours later.
I feel like
you
if
roll.
This is a
Wade,
hard decision.
If you have to stay, at least you still got like a decent roll. You know what I mean?
Which one of us? Me?
For
You.
Wade, yeah, for you.
Yeah,
Jake
yeah. I
could
mean, a 7 out of
absolutely
12
use
is
the
at
help.
least 7.
Yeah. Which is like an extra 10 HP for you? Yeah.
Come on, boys.
7 is 10 for me. Yeah. Which is why it says 10 on the thing.
Come on, Jake. You can do it.
I need to go ahead from Wade first.
Yeah. If you want it, go for it. A 4 out of 8 is. You have a higher chance of beating that.
I mean, he can only go up by 4. You can go up by 5.
That's true. But I feel like every hit point means more to him right now than it does to me.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah. He has no
we
con
need to
bonus
go.
either.
I said go for it.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes!
All right,
There you go.
I'll take that.
Oh, what does that bring you to?
That is good. 23.
Hey!
I think we had like the same HP every level.
Oh, you guys
We
both have
have.
23 now?
So now I have to
That's
decide
awesome.
whether I'm
And you
using
only-
a reroll to try to beat a 7 out of 12.
You only have the same because he has toughness.
Yeah, he has toughness and I have +1 con.
Yeah.
So it's like evening out.
Toughness technically equals +1 con. So, yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
So we're like rolled the same.
All
That's
right.
great.
Reliable Lord said to stop. What do the rest of y'all think? Do I use it? I keep the 7?
Your Valerie Novak gave another reroll, so you have another one in the bank. Wait, if it's bad, you can go again.
Oh, if you have 2, I'd go for it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I would.
Okay, speaking of
There's
two,
that other one.
see, there's that too. Keegan
I can
said
ignore
two.
I wasn't the only one who said 2.
Hey, that's better.
That's one better.
That's better. Okay.
I might have to stick with an 11.
All right.
Yeah.
Chat,
thank you for the rerolls.
Do we want to give him another reroll?
I don't think we do. I think I don't need. I do not need fate tempting me more.
I already had the scare now.
I think they would rather you try to help Keegan with what he has to deal with during this time. Okay.
I think that gets me one more hit point would have been nice because it would have got me to 40. 39 is right there. It's a lot better than 33.
That's
Okay.
that's a lot of HP.
So before we cut into the game, Jake Chat is trying to help you out because you're a delinquent PC. So you're gonna have to level up a whole session behind everybody next time. Now, they're trying to help you choose. Joey just put a list of feats there, but earlier, somebody had asked what you were eyeing. What did you have your eye on? What were you contemplating so they can at least help you with that?
There was 4 that I'm looking at. There's either is it 2-weapon fighting, that one?
Oh, that's a rough one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that will give me 2 attacks, and if
Mhm.
I flank, which is what I'd be doing with it, it'll be like a flat roll. It's only a -2. -2.
It's only a
cancels out.
-2 if you use the correct weapons, but yes.
Yes, which I would be.
Okay. Oh, did you
Um,
tell chat that you got the dexterity finesse ability?
No, I didn't actually, which actually is really good. Now I can add my dex to damage. So instead of doing a -1 in melee, -1 damage, I'm now +3.
That's a
That's a big
4-point swing.
That
That's,
with sneak attack, if I'm flanking, is like that's when I can actually
that goes
start
from not
contributing.
killing those little dudes to one-shotting them.
Now, true. Yes. Wait. Now remind me, Keegan. When you're able to apply dexterity to damage, is that considered precision-based damage for the rare scenario where precision damage is reduced or ignored?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's not.
It's not.
I wasn't.
Not from
sure.
this. Not from this ability. There's like
Yeah.
some feats you can
Feats of-
get.
yeah.
that
in
is
class
precision
features.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Stuff
I
like
wasn't sure on this
Swashbuckler.
one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. I wasn't 100%. Thank you, sir. Back to you, Jake. So you were thinking about, go ahead.
There's
two-weapon
2-weapon fighting,
Okay.
which could be really good.
Do you have quick draw?
There's no.
So 2-weapon fighting, you can still draw, if you have that feat, you can still draw 2 weapons simultaneously as for free as part of a move action. Like while moving or whatever it is. But remember, you have to have 2 free hands to do that. Otherwise, you're dropping shit on the ground. You can't like have a crossbow in one hand. Wait, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's that one. The next one was underhanded, which allows me to. It says a rogue with this talent gets a +4 circumstance bonus on all sleight of hand checks made to conceal a weapon, and if I make a sneak attack in a surprise round, so if I manage to conceal a weapon and then just like bonk someone on the head, I don't roll sneak attack damage. It's just max sneak attack damage, so it'd be just straight 12. So like. Taking guards or things like being an epic 6 world, most people aren't going to have super high HP, so it could, allow me to just one tap certain people.
Yeah, even if you're talking about like a pretty veteran guard, like somebody that's called like 2 HD, you know what I mean? That's somebody that has, let's say, they are as humans, they have what, D6 as their base HP, I believe. So that's 12 HP. Even if they're tough motherfuckers that have +1 con, it's 14. So you're rolling automatically 12. +1 from whatever weapon you're using. So it's automatically 13. And then you are any modifiers you might have to that, if any modifiers. And that's assuming max health points at 12. That's assuming 14 is the max it could be. So already right off the bat, if they're 1 point beneath max, which is very likely, it's almost all the time, you're auto dropping them, which is really cool. So, head bonk, double stab, anything else?
Yeah, the other two are really easy. One of them is the voice of Sybil, which is just +1, I think,
To a whole bunch of
bluff,
charisma-based
diplomacy,
skills, yeah.
and something.
Anything
And
with your
then
voice, basically.
or skill focus bluff.
Ooh, skill focus bluff is so so the good side is +3 is fucking huge, especially in Epic 6. The downside is you'll never hit level 10 to get the +6. Because at level 10 it doubles its bonus. But a +3...
but in saying that though, before we started the campaign, we were talking about moving that. So I don't know where you've landed, but we haven't discussed it. since,
making it
it's an
instead of
Epic
it being a needing 10 ranks, needing only 6 ranks, and then maybe requiring a purchase out once you get to level 6. Now I understand.
Yeah.
But either way, that is insane. The last feat was skill focus bluff, which just gives a flat +3. So it's flat +3 to bluff, a +1 to, like, let's call it 5 social skills, I think, maybe less than that. Stab 2 times at the same, it's a double attack, which he'll never get in E6. His character will never get 2 attacks at E6 from Bab, only Wade will. Or again, really good at hiding a weapon, and when he goes bunk bunk, he gets max damage, which, because of E6 in his class, air quotes, it caps out at 3d6, so air quotes, it caps out at 18 damage that he gets automatic, which is pretty badass. Again, air quotes, because there's ways to increase that. They're just harder and whatever. Anyways, so cool. I mean, all those are great options.
Yeah.
Is there a feat somewhere that just increases your sneak attack damage by 1d6? Or am I confusing that?
Yeah.
There is. Okay,
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Cool. But all right, those are the 4 options he's going with. Chat, feel free to, like, argue amongst each other, throw out extra ideas. We can always put a poll in for what after a little bit we can put a poll in to see what chat really suggests to Jake. In the end, it's his choice, but Jake will actually take your opinions on the matter, because it's both, you know, he likes the suggestions and, you know, enjoy playing the character that people like watching, right? But in the end, it is his choice. Cool. Then circling back, anything else before we circle down to you know, back to the story?
No, that's it for me.
Cool. Health point maximums. Did I hear double 23?
Yeah.
That's good. That's, like, really good. So
That's a lot better.
I mean, think about it. Like, if the scariest thing that could happen to you right now is if I were to critical hit you with something like a bow and arrow, like a longbow, because that's 1d8, no modifier for almost anybody, which can be ×3. So if I rolled 8 × 3 is 24 points of damage. That's, like, among one of the most scary, air quotes, common things you can come across. But generally you fight, you know, short bows, as you've seen in the campaign so far. And most other weapons don't have a ×3. I guess an axe does, but again, it's...
Yeah, axes do.
Yeah, but how often are you coming across axes so far? And then finally, the other really scary thing would be if it was something, like, really random, like a scythe.
Like
But
a
it's-
×4, yeah.
I think it's 2d4.
That's
and it's
oddly
×4.
specific, and you smiled
Yeah.
while you said it. What? This is really random, but what if a scythe is waiting for you this episode?
I mean, I'm just saying, if I rolled 2d4 with a plus, you know, 2 strength, which does +3 damage, so it's actually like I rolled 2d4, 8 + 3 is 11 × 4 is 44 points of damage. You know, hey Wade, what's your health pool?
39.
Oh,
41 when I rage.
oh, no, not when you rage, it increases by 2 per level.
Then it's not doing that properly.
Let me look at the math on it for you. It should be +6 when you rage now.
It goes to 2 temp when I rage instead
Right.
of... What's it doing?
Doesn't it just increase his con?
Hold on. Just click on right here. We don't have it set up that way. We actually have it set so it is His health point just says +2, so we write +6 here instead. And now when you click it on, it'll increase your health points by 6. So you go to 45.
There we go, 45 while reading.
Oh, there you go. Now if I critically hit you with that scythe and somebody's a +2 strength, you have 1 health point left.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Love that.
Hey, wait, actually, I lied. DR1, you have 2 health. Sorry.
I mean, but it's funny, but also like Koa can do a lot with 2 health points.
Why are we using
as we've
size?
seen?
What did you say?
Why aren't we using size? We could go craft farming. We could.
Oh.
We all spend our first level feat just getting proficient with scythes.
Unless you rather have sickles, because you're a light weapon kind of person.
Are you making fun of Mikhail for being sick again?
Wow. Speaking of,
Yeah. Horrible.
the next day after where we left off last session, the next day was a bit rough for Mikhail. It was meant to be a day of kind of like relaxing, recovery, so on and so forth, as previously suggested. We talked last session about some of the things your characters are going to be doing, but he wasn't even able to focus on reading. He wasn't able to focus on anything. He actually ended up like having this being really tired, really downtrodden, having a nasty cough. Like things weren't going well for him at all. All the way until the point where like even Koa and Mikhail were like, "You okay, buddy? This isn't good." And that evening, putting a hand to his forehead, they felt that he had a pretty nasty fever that was flaring up. He had this like really watery kind of cough to him that was starting to kick in, and he had this fever that was starting to flare up. He was not really himself. I mean, Mikhail, even when he's been uncomfortable beforehand, is not shy from using the spoken word, but talking kind of hurts now and triggers his cough, and so he's kind of keeping it down. That being said, obviously that raises concern to both Aldo and Koa, who I imagine are going to try to lend some degree of assistance. What is it your characters are going to do? Or Mikhail, what would you even suggest to them in your tired, worn voice? Not that you have to play it, but tired, worn voice and growing hoarse from all the hacking all day, to help with this, because it's getting rough.
Well, I imagine pretty quickly he's going to be looking to seek out a doctor. I mean,
I can imagine Aldo would come to
point.
get you.
Yeah.
He would come to get you because we're supposed to be going to Curve Rocks in the morning. I dare say that Aldo will come to get you, and we'll take it from there, I suppose.
He'll especially make sure you go to Curve Rock now.
I'm just gonna. I'll take it from here. I'm gonna knock on Mikhail's door in the morning. I'll be like, Mikhail, it's time.
You kind of hear the sort of startle awake, just, sort of some thuds as he sits up. Goes, hold on, just a second. And it takes him a lot longer than it should to get to the door. You can hear him coughing, and then he'll finally open it and say, "Yeah, just give me a minute to get ready. I didn't sleep very well. We're not late, are we?"
No, yeah. You want a drink?
Yeah, I'll grab one once I get my boots and whatnot. Just give me a minute.
I'll see you downstairs.
And he'll stagger off for a second. You see him sit back down on his bed for a minute and looks a little bit dazed as you walk off. Then again, probably takes way longer than it should for him to finally come downstairs. Okay. Curve Rock, and then what else are we doing today?
Nothing.
That
Feels
sounds
good
great.
to say that in a way.
Yeah. Yes. sounds really good to say that. Yeah, just let me sit down for a second. I don't know if I don't know if I'm having a reaction to something, but my chest feels kind of tight. I still have that stupid cough. It started last night while I was trying to sleep. Neither you feels weird or anything, right? You don't feel sick?
Aldo takes a step away from you, and he's like, "No, I'm okay."
Yeah. Dwayne didn't say anything, right? He didn't say he was feeling off. I don't know where the hell I would have contracted something.
I think he's asleep on the floor somewhere. Can I ask him?
Yeah. He like clearly doesn't want to shout over to him.
Aldo will go over and kind of gently kick.
We guys have a
Dwayne away.
fourth room, so he'd be on the floor in the fourth room, right?
Oh, right. He's in the guest room. That's right.
Yeah,
Because there's a room that's not always meant to be a bedroom, but because there's nothing else at the moment, it's a bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you go up to the room and you knock on the door, and he'll, sounds groggy as he comes over, and this wasn't an easy trek for him either. So you can see the scrapes and bruises and whatnot that are on him. You can see he's a bit torn up because he opens the door and he's got like pants on, but otherwise like he's sock and shoe, shirtless, so on. So you can see all like the markings on his body. You know that he went through fucking hell before he joined up with you guys, and then he's gone through a not so pleasant experience since he joined up with you. So he answers the door and he looks a bit groggy or whatever, but he's like, "Oh, sorry, are we something we had to do?"
No. Go ahead.
No, just gonna say we have some business, but we're just coming to check in with you since you're feeling alright.
Am I feeling all right? I mean,
Yeah.
Really achy, like especially between my shoulders in the back. My bad knee. I did not nurse that as we were running, but yeah, I'll live.
No cough or anything.
Thanks for a second. No, I'm fine. And then he all of a sudden like widens his eyes and he looks at Aldo and he's like, "Oh, how are you feeling, Aldo?"
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah, nothing. No. Okay.
No, I'm okay, thanks.
Good. And he looks like relieved, and so he doesn't ask any questions because you can see like he's clearly like in his own head at the moment, as he looks very relieved at that.
Yeah.
We were asking just because I've got a cough and I'm not feeling great, so I was trying to figure out if I contracted something from someone, but
You want me
no
to
one else is
want me to
feeling
look
anything.
at you?
Yeah. He actually like pull his like collar up over his mouth.
Yeah. He says, "Why don't you come in here and I'll check you out for a minute." Okay. Give me 1 second. /R 1d20 plus 1d6 because somebody gave me a DM's dice. What?
No, I'm happy. I'm glad.
Oh yeah.
DM dice to help us for once. That's so nice.
Not for once. It's like the third time.
We need more of those.
I'm sorry. We have 500 hours in this game. My bad if I forgot the other one time it happened.
And then as a reminder, his heal skills, I believe, are +5 because it's better than everybody else in the group right now. So
now hold on. Go on. You're right.
No.
Is there anything else that your characters
is
are going to give to him to
6.
give him a bonus on this roll?
Mine is 6 after leveling. So
Can my goose egg be
Yeah,
golden?
but before you leveled, you had only like a 1 or something.
mine was 5 before I leveled.
Oh, okay. Oh no,
So
then he had a 6 then because he was 1 higher than you. My
Yeah.
apologies.
I think he had a 7.
But was there anything your characters wanted to give him to assist him on this roll?
I can assist him if you'd like.
Yeah, you can do an aid another. This roll does allow for an aid another. Was there anything else that your characters had to assist on a heal check? If not, I'm gonna get the DC I'm going against is what? I probably a 15, maybe less. In which case I'm already rolling with minimum I can roll is an 8. That's pretty solid. Go ahead, Jake. Roll your heal check first.
Oh, did I heal that wisdom damage overnight, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 1 second. Okay, heal. Yep.
Toughen up. Whack in the back.
That number
Yeah.
seems familiar from somewhere. I don't know where I've seen it before.
Oh, the 20?
Less than
It's
three and
always
more than
hiding around the
one.
corner.
Less than 3, more than 1. I don't know.
I've
Lance, help
never
me out
seen
here.
that number in my life. So
Get him, boys.
I have a healer's kit still, so he can use a use out of it. I have 6.
And it gives him what,
It gives him a
+2?
water skin that accidentally
+2,
has syphilis
yeah.
on the rim. Gives him another disease.
Okay. He will take he'll take one of your uses, sorry, and he'll get a +2, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. Ready?
Yep.
Oh! but that's not an auto failure. A luck die can get you over a 15. Would you like to roll a luck die? It is an NPC that's assisting you.
Yes, I would
Do we
like to
have
roll.
any?
Go ahead and
one
bloop it.
die.
It'll let
To
you know if you
see
have any
if-
in chat.
You have any? Here's some
Hey!
luck. Good.
Okay. So
Unfortunately, the DC was a 17.
he's able to do 2 things. One, diagnose that it is pneumonia. And 2, say, oh no, we need to treat you with this. We need to get you inside of a warm environment. We need it to be warm. We need it to be dry. We have to get you like some, like hot soups or whatever it is. We need to get you relaxing. This is going to be a rough, oh my God, like this is, he's like, this is going to be a rough fight for you. This is something that this is no joke. There is no going anywhere outside of this house right now. Aldo, if you can find a better physician than myself, you should go and get that person immediately. Because I've seen this before. I've tried to treat this before. I have never been able to successfully save anybody before. Usually my approach is put them next to a fire and hopefully their body does the work, or bring them to Hod Gwen. Unfortunately, Hod Gwen is very far from here right now. So
At least he got Mikhail's morale up by saying these things in front of him. Everyone I've ever seen with this has died.
No. Not everybody has
Good luck.
died. He's never been able to successfully treat it. He just kind of helps them out. So Aldo, you need to, if you know any doctors in town, if you know anybody that knows anything about disease, you need to go and this is the time to use your contacts. You're the valiant few. Find out which few know about diseases.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna run up to Koa's room now. I'm gonna bang on the door really loudly.
527, 520. Yes?
Koa, open the
Yes.
door.
He was actually at 27, 28.
Yes.
Dwayne said Mikhail's dying. We need to find a healer.
This isn't Koa laughing. This is me laughing.
Listen, I appreciate the urgency. All right, that's big.
What are you waiting
friendship.
for? Lead the way.
You know this town better than I do. I'll follow you.
I will.
Scott, do we know where there's a healer here? I guess Phil would have maybe gone to someone to look him over.
Yeah. That, and you have obviously contacts of importance or whatever. But absolutely, sure, yeah. Yes.
Well, we
Phil
either
would
go
have been
there
brought
or I
over
roll to see if I know it.
to a person. No, you don't need to roll. You know this town well enough to go and at the very least speak to a council person that you have contact with. Speak to the captain of the guard. Go and get somebody that is going to not just know who a healer is, but where to require them and like where they are, where they live, et cetera, et cetera.
The captain of the guard. Let's go there. They can likely send us there as fast as possible, and I'm sure they have hurt guards all the time.
But wasn't Gemsmith sick? Maybe getting his physician would be best. He's a counselor, right? They gotta have people that really look after them.
Yes, but I, at one point, treated him, I thought. I'm not sure who his physician would be. Fine. I'll go to Jim Smith. You seek out the captain of the guard. What's happening? What's wrong with him?
I don't know. Dwayne just said that everyone dies except very few. I don't know.
That's a very unhelpful thing to say to a doctor as to what.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Dwayne just goes, "Oh, you've got something's wrong with you. You're gonna die."
I'll go to Jim Smith. Find someone else. Nathan, Tyreek, whoever you run into first.
He'll just nod.
You guys go separate directions, trying to acquire whatever aid you can. No rolls need to be made. You've already done what you needed to do, which is to find out the disease and to know the urgency of the matter. And so you go your separate ways to inform whoever it is you can to get whatever assistance you can. The good news is your names do carry weight, where you can, again, no rolls needed. At least initially, you're not really being too much of a drain of resources. People wants to help you. So going and asking, say, Gemsmith, going and asking, whoever might be around town, whether it be Nathan Fox or
Curve Rock.
Curve Rock. Okay, I was going to say.
I'm telling you, that's who I'm going to see, and he's helping because he wants to know what's in those books.
Oh.
Mikhail's going to live whether he lives with like amputated limbs or whatever. Curve Rock's helping.
He has his lungs cut out and replaced with like pig bladders, just to make sure he's alive.
Magnifying glasses for hands to make sure he can read better.
As I'm telling you, that alignment can move. I'm just telling you.
That's awesome.
Needs a push.
Curve Rock lets you die because he spends the whole day negotiating price.
Damn. Anyways, when you go to I was trying to think of the name of the captain, not the captain of the guard, but the what you call it, the guard. It's escaping me, which is killing me.
Is it Tariq here?
Tariq, thank you. It's Tariq.
Tariq? Yeah.
I said it like 6 times.
But you go to Gemsmith. Gemsmith says that he will gladly send over his person. But he does let you know, he's like, when I got sick recently, I was no joke. It was nothing I could mess around with. So I started trying to stockpile some more medicines, some stronger medicines to have on hand. He says, the stuff is expensive though, but for Mikhail, I'm willing to give him one. But I need to have it because I'm frail, I'm old. If I give him my whole stock and then I end up getting sick, if you brought whatever he has to me, and he's like, I can't part with more than half my medicine that I have. I'll give one to you.
I'll thank him. I'm going to RP it out, but he'll
you thank him, of course, and you take it and you're able to leave. And for you, Keegan, that's a good old fashioned what is it, anti-disease, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the anti-plague.
Anti-plague, thank you. Anti-plague, the Pathfinder thing. For those of you that don't know, anti-plague, when you drink it, it gives you a +5 fortitude saves against diseases for the next hour. But if you have an ongoing disease, instead it allows you to more or less roll with advantage on the check, so that you have a better chance of surviving whatever it is that's plaguing you. But it's only for one roll.
Does it cure Scott?
What?
You said it helps you fight off what's plaguing you. Does it cure Scott's? Hello?
That DC just got bigger.
It's for bigger diseases, not little small things.
Molly!
Oh, thanks, Wade.
Molly! Oh, you're here just in time to seg away from whatever they were talking about. I'm Molly. Hi. How are you? Doing well? Good. Look at that nerd with his glasses. Wow,
Scott!
Fuck. Look, I mean, I'm over here being all like welcoming and loving and kind. And hold on.
I think my camera's right there.
It says, I know it's Molly because it's pink and it has a green sword with a purple thing next to it.
Washington, Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Wade. It says Wade.
You know what,
broke it
Molly? GA, Georgia. There you go. I know another one. Good job.
Oh, God, I can't read that.
Geography lately, I think.
Put your glasses back on, Wade. Got it.
You're so smart.
This is a great time to ask this. Hey, chat, when you guys redeem, like, insult Scott, is it okay if sometimes we just wait and then point at him while he's doing something like that? Wow. Do we actually need to say something, or is that fine?
Wow.
I'm just genuinely curious. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Right, thank you, chat. Appreciate it.
Wow. Okay, moving on. That DC went up again. So, Aldo, you go to Curve Rock.
Yeah.
When you show up, he's like, "You're late."
Well, it's either late or possibly never. Mikhail's come down with some affliction. I'm not close to Kovac either. Like you imagine, I knock on the door and I step back, so
Yeah.
he can't carry on.
He takes a step back as well.
Yeah.
And says, "What? He's young."
Well, that may be the case with what we spoke about, and Aldo looks like left to right behind him. He's like, I hope it's not a curse. You know?
His eyes narrow, and you roll a bluff check.
Yeah.
Are you getting an extra 3 to this because you took the bluff beat?
Oh, what does Natural Born Liar give you again? Oh, it makes it so if you beat it by at least 5, you can increase the mod. You can increase it by 2, right? Or something like that.
Let me have a look. Oh yeah, did I successfully bluff him yesterday? Because then I get a +2. It'd be a 25.
Oh, I'm going to bluff you. Oh, you did, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
so that's
double
actually a 25. Holy shit.
Yeah.
His eyes widen, and he says, "Which curse?"
I'm not sure. He woke up he was feeling funny yesterday, and he's woke up this morning having trouble breathing. I'm not sure if it's something to sap his life force or what it is, but a healer. If we can get him through it, you know, he can get back to work.
He narrows his eyes and thinks for a moment. And he says, "There may be one in town. I'll see what I can do. Next time, do not come. Send a porter."
He nods again and he leave.
Yeah, he kind of like slams the door with that one.
Yeah.
And you leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to just quickly, before I get back to the house, I want to buy like a plague doctor hat thing from somewhere so I can walk back in with that on.
Fucking bird mask.
Yeah.
You know, normally I would say you have to roll to see if you can find one, but now I want you to have one. So,
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Does that mean you usually don't want us to have cool stuff? What's wrong with you?
that is true most of the time. What is that called? Is that the filtered mask?
Like Dr. Mask? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a yeah, I don't know if there's an item for that, like by base.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now.
You could probably count it as that filtered mask. That thing weighs a lot for some fucking
It's a
reason.
rubber sealed leather mask with filtering respiration apparatuses. Ordinary filter masks have cloth floral perfumes, while masterwork ones use alchemical charcoal filters. Obviously, this isn't that. A basic filter mask.
Well, they did have like stuff in them, like charcoal and whatnot.
No. The basic ones have cloth filters and floral perfumes. It's the masterwork ones have the charcoal and whatnot. This says
it weighs 4 fucking pounds, dude. Like that's
it does weigh 4 pounds, but it's not insanely expensive.
Yeah.
It will cost you, because they're not, frequent, they're hard to come by, so on and so forth. They will cost you 1 gold. But you can absolutely get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay gold for this gag. Yeah.
Do that right?
We're gonna do it.
Hey, people have been paid way less than 4 gold to gag before, so 1 gold, man. So you
Pay a lot more too.
so yeah, you grab the mask and you head back or whatever. Any RP you guys want to have with one another?
No.
Okay. Jump forward. Curve Rock is able to, so you're able to get your hands on a doctor that's going to come over. Doctors services, not doctors, but a medicine person coming over. Their services aren't free. They do require cost. But in this scenario, Curve Rock is willing to, says he's willing to cover the cost. Is what he says. He's like, Councilman Curverock said that he will cover the costs of this. So whatever your fee is, of course, speak to the councilman, and I'm sure that'll go over very well. And you do have that one anti-plague. Now, the next day is when you make your first check. Do you want to take the anti-plague for the first check, sir?
Yeah. He'd also probably have forked over some gold and be like, look, see if you can find more of this. Just in case.
Sure. So you're actively trying to find some more anti-plague?
Yeah.
For
or
that
ask
one,
them to.
Do you want to roll, Jake, if you don't mind looking for it for him, a diplomacy check to gather information? I'll give you a +2 as you're having a doctor.
Are you wanting me to roll? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Diplomacy.
Yeah.
You have a +2 though.
Diplomacy 2. All right.
Is that with the +2?
Yep.
14's not incredible. How do you feel about it?
What is it for again?
Trying to find more anti-plague, which is not a common thing.
I'm assuming you want me to do this, right?
Shit. I might need the luck for the fucking saves. Do we have a +1 from a hype train or whatever?
We do. We have 2 +1.
We do.
But you might need those as well.
Mm.
I mean, I'd be okay with a 15 would be better than a 14.
That's good math.
Obviously.
So you want me to bump it up to a 15?
That's just what I think.
There's 2 luck left. You could use one of the lucks too. I mean,
In hopes that you get another one.
Yeah, that's true. We could get another one. I mean, yeah, I'd say go ahead and luck it then.
Okay, lock it.
All right.
We'll see where we're at.
Ah, Giselle already gave you one.
Oh.
Cool.
Hey,
Oh, well, that's
15.
fine. It's fine.
15.
You're able to find one. Unfortunately, these are not inexpensive. They're not easy to get your hands on. They generally sell for 13 gold pieces. The good news is, because of your name, because of who you are, they're willing to sell it to you for 9. But again, these are not inexpensive, which is why, what's his name? Jim Smith had 2 of them on him. You are able to find one, though, from not a merchant, but somebody that happens to be traveling through that has one on them. One of the reasons why they're as expensive as they are is because they only last for so long. Eventually, they do spoil. They have a shelf life, if you will. So, not something short, months to a year or whatever it is. But, yeah, they're willing to sell it to you for 9 gold pieces, knowing that they're going to help out the people that, helped out the region or whatever, da-da-da. But if you want to buy it, you can buy it from them for that.
If you are, I'll take it out of mine.
Oh, I forgot I was doing it.
Rolls
I'm
not
assuming
20,
you
you
want
need
it, so yeah. If you want to take it out, yeah.
Yep. All right. I have 8 gold left.
Okay.
God, I love the things we spend our money on.
Yeah, living.
Furniture and disease.
Okay. Sir, it's the next day. You go ahead and roll your first fortitude save, but I forget what your normal bonus is. I think it's a 2.
Yep.
You have 4 from the doctor that's treating you. That's treat disease, gives you a 4. 2 from having put you up in the correct environment and is maintaining the environment, even though the doctor's kind of arguing with, hey, thank you for the gift subs. Even though the doctor is actually arguing with, what's his name? I shouldn't say the medicine person, is arguing with Dwayne over how hot and whatnot he's keeping the environment. He's like, no, go to hell. I've been in the wild. This is the only thing that saves people. So both of them are taking their own approach to the medicine, trying to assist you. But actually having the correct environment does give you an additional +2 on the roll. So that brings you from a 2 to a 6 to actually a +8 on the roll, which is a pretty good odds in your favor. If you take the anti-plague, which you just spent 9 gold pieces to have 2 of them, and the favor.
Mhm.
If you take the anti-plague, you have an advantage on this roll as well.
Yeah, which I am taking it.
Okay, so for the first
Basically,
roll,
if I the best chances I'll have is now. If I start failing them and taking like con damage, then it gets lower.
what?
So I'm gonna take it now.
Hey, you drink the potion. You get a 26, and you might as
The
well roll
gods
the other
notice your cough.
The gods notice my cough. That man has the sniffles.
Oh, look at that. On the first check, you had a 26 and a 27. You pass. However, pneumonia requires 2 consecutive saves to beat.
Mm-hmm.
So, your sickness seems to break for a little while in the morning when you wake. Then as the day goes on, especially as you strain yourself just a little bit, feeling excited that you're feeling better, it gets so much worse again. Especially it gets towards the night, like what always happens. You feel a bit better in the morning, and the night gets really rough. By the time it's really rough. And the doctor continues to like swing by the house to check on you. I keep saying doctor, but medicine person, he's swinging by the house to check on you. Dwayne never leaves your side. He stays there. The house is warm. They have to keep it warm. So Koa's outside chopping firewood left and right with his brand new axe. And you guys are here in a nice warm house or whatever. This soup somebody went to, down to get from the tavern to make sure you have something hot to eat, etc., etc. You're drinking as much broth as you can, though you can't really keep food down. Sir, so next night you go ahead and you roll with advantage. You still have that total of a +8.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the other anti-plague.
All right, that's where you roll your natural too. Oh, come on!
I mean, I'm not super happy that I fucking
9
spent
gold for this.
9 gold for this, but whatever.
Roll your one more. Just to see what you beat.
Sure.
If you get to 2, we get all of our money back.
Damn it!
All right, cool.
The first time ever, you rolled a nat 1 and nat 20. You guys get the better of the two.
Except there's a rule with pneumonia and Pathfinder.
You actually require 3 consecutive saves.
You know what?
Just
Fuck
because.
it. It is a curse. You do need 3. No.
You hear a flute playing in the distance.
Kill that man! I want to see him dead before I go.
You end up being laid up in bed for about, so the first day that you got whatever, you end up being laid in bed for a total of 5 days. Now, for a few of them fighting for your life, but in the end, finally, you're kind of recovering. The last of those 5 days, you're actually able to spend enough time, like even though you're sleeping, passing out, waking up, you can actually spend some of that time doing some of your research on one of the books, which I think is the 3rd day for you on a book that you were looking at anyways.
Yeah, I believe so. Let me check.
So, like, throughout the course of those 5 days, plus whatever research you were doing beforehand, your character is, like, laid up, by there. Your friends are still dropping off to check on you. So, let's just say 6 days you end up being laid up then. That way you get your last day with the book, and you can go ahead and make one of those checks for your book.
Oh, I was only at 1 day.
Yeah, that's why I said let's make it 6 days. So we have 2 days in there.
Okay. So that is all those. And it's a linguistics?
Yeah.
Is that the check? Okay.
Don't forget all of your mods.
I did forget. I don't remember what they are.
That's okay. You have a +5 because of this the languages you know. So it's actually a 20. And then you have plus, I think, 1 or 2 or whatever it was from previous books.
For the purple ones, I deciphered 1.
So +1 from the previous book.
Yeah.
So that's a 21 total, which is nowhere near where you need to be.
Not even close. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that's everything. Koa, imagine that whole time you were helping out by chopping firewood and being relatively nearby. As you're chopping firewood, you realize the grain of the wood, if you hit it the right way with the axe, it actually splits kind of clean. You're chopping firewood literally for days. You spend a little bit of time kind of like having fun with it. You get a couple of pieces, you split the wood the right way. You end up bringing it over to a spot where there's like, maybe like an old, bit of metal that's stuck there, an old, let's say like a rusty old scythe or whatever that's jamming up into like a
A lot of
fence.
scythes from you today. A lot of scythes.
And you're able to like shave it a little bit cleaner, grab a couple of branches that are relatively the same thickness, cut them down to the same length. And, for funsies, able to kind of like fashion together the ugliest goddamn chair you've ever seen. But, you know, going by and using your reputation to speak to a nearby, somebody, a farmer nearby that has some tools like scythe, or a carpenter or whatever it might be able to get your hands on some basic equipment. And while you're outside chopping wood,
How many people use scythes to chop wood, Scott? I want to know how many people using a scythe to make a chair.
That'd be awesome. Ugh.
You're like, oh my god, the Grim Reaper. It's like, no, lazy boy.
So you go borrow some equipment or whatever it is, and as you're chopping the wood, if pieces come out ugly, you're able to like toss them to the side and, you know, to be burned. If they come out decent looking, you're able to start kind of like playing with it, and realizing if you play with your wood the right way, you can make something beautiful, and you start like working on your skill of handling that wood right. We're gonna call you a carpenter. So either way, Koa, being a bit of a quick learner, is able to kind of like muscle his way through and figure it out a good bit. Awesome. Aldo,
I know how to rub it down too after spending time with Gwen.
Aldo, that whole time you don't want to be around the house. You don't want to get disease. You got the mask, and there's no way you're going to want to be around all that.
No, but Aldo makes a full Birdman disguise. He's gonna have like wings, and he's gonna have this like big, like, you know, the plague doctor thing. So he's gonna be walking around like that.
I mean, I was gonna say you probably spend some time at a nearby inn or
No, this is fun.
tavern.
I'll go to the inn like that.
He like disguises it so it looks like he's been around the plague. There's like weird green goo like on part of the beak and stuff. Like red blood splatters, and he just walks in like looking like he's seen hell.
I mean,
Roll to see if you start a panic.
it's just the idea of making a bird person costume. So I know that we call them furries and scalies. What do you call if you're a bird, though?
I'm a plague doctor, all right? That's what it is.
That's what they're called. Okay, go
Furries, plagueies,
doctors.
you know, they're all
Plagueies.
Please.
specifically the plague doctor. I hope there's a community out there. I've got a couple friends I'll have to ask. There's a community out there for plague doctors specifically.
Can we get some plague doctor gifts in
Probably
in Discord for Jake? There's some funny ones. Anyways, just make sure you at him. Explode his notifications. Cool. So you have to make a disguise check to make this this costume.
Yes, I will.
He accidentally doesn't cover the butt flap.
Looks like you can
That's a
make
good
yourself
one.
a quality disguise if you are buying the right materials to do so. How much money are you spending on this costume?
I don't know. Materials seem to be getting more expensive by the minute. So, how much are these materials, Scott? Everyday materials.
You already spent.
I
the
brought
here's
back
the
some
gold.
feathers from Alcimia's nest, so you actually have a few free feathers.
Oh, nice. Thank you. All right, I'll definitely take the 2 silver.
Yep.
Out there.
Yep. He puts ranks into seamstress just to make sure he can like start making his own costumes a bit cheaper. All right.
I just want to let you know too. I'm paying the remaining balance on my bed.
Is our
Okay,
band
so that
gonna be
gets
like,
done.
was it Slipknot, where we dress like absolute?
This is getting better by the
psychopaths to go
minute.
for them?
Nice.
Like you come out there in a plague doctor outfit, like and a guitar.
I'm gonna put that in my like additional gear now. Plague doctor outfit.
It's like the great Mikhail Hall. Ha 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 ha. ha. Great Mikhail. Ha, 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 ha. It's ICP, right?
I have
Great-
fucking
Great
aneurysm.
Malenko. Right? No? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
This campaign gets worse all the time.
All right. Back to the game. You get yourself this ridiculous costume. People are genuinely concerned at first until eventually it's like you lift up your mask and you're like, I don't know. It's just me or whatever it is. Let them know. Nothing to be panicked about. Except for your roommate has a disease.
That's right. That's why I'm not staying there.
Cool. No big deal.
Fucking hell.
Eventually, Mikhail is able to recover, and your characters have a few more days of actual downtime. Koa's shoulders hurting, forearms hurting from chopping for those days. But honestly, after spending a lot of time chopping, he's starting to get a bit more comfortable with the actual swinging of an axe. Like, he's not used it in combat, but, you know, he's pretty sure he could figure it out. Maybe keeping an axe nearby wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. I mean, he does own one. He did leave it at the estate before. Maybe it's not a bad idea to use it.
Weapon.
Huh?
Ceremonial weapon.
Yeah. For ceremonially chopping down, you know, branch people. After Mikhail recovers, and you guys spend a few more days, you know, resting and getting back up. I know your plans were to head out to Hodgwen soon, but you did still finally have to meet with Curve Rock here, correct?
Yeah.
Anything else you need to do in this town before you move on?
Take delivery of my new bed.
Tell Jim Smith about the one gem exploding in the water area.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one looking over the diagrams.
And I have a couple letters to write.
He has no opinion over the aside from being like oohed and awed and excited and wants to hear details. He doesn't understand gem fusing or anything like that well enough to give any you know, opinion beyond that you'd get from any, you know, educated but, you know, interested audience. Your bed does arrive. There's no jokes, no tomfoolery here. It shows up.
Good.
And if the bed itself wasn't just designed beautifully, to which case your characters are like, oh shit, that thing truly is like a nice, like, is that mahogany? You know, like, Koa is that guy that just got into carpentry, and so now he just instantly knows everything about wood.
He kind of would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he would.
Oh.
The word wood was said a lot. Just
But you emphasized. Anyways, so not only is that thing incredibly well crafted, but the part that really makes your characters a little jelly, I don't know whether or not Mikhail's allowed to sit on it because he was recently sick, but if your characters are able to like sit or lie on it or whatever it was, is the mattress is insane. It is so comfortable. It is a brand new, freshly stuffed down mattress that's made for Aldo, with Aldo like giving some suggestions or you know, advice or whatever it is, that like making requests of what he wants. And it is so fucking comfortable. It's one of those things you climb into it and you just like sink in, and it gives you like a hug, like your bed hugs you when you climb in, which I understand that in real life, maybe, I don't know, Keegan genuinely likes a pillow top that, you know, is a little stiff but gives him a little bit of a hug, and maybe Jake in real life actually likes one of those memory foams that, you know, he sinks into, and maybe Wade likes sleeping on one of those super hard beds. But back then, when your characters are practically just sleeping on straw on a floor, the idea of this is comfortable to everybody. So you sink into it. It is insane. Aldo, you literally are already giddy about the idea of sleeping in this, to the point of, fuck it, maybe just spend the whole night sleeping. So you do get that. Whether or not you want to have RP around it, I'll give you a moment, but then we'll go to Curve Rock.
Apart from like putting a sign on his door that says Mikhail, stay out. No, there's no Mikhail. There's no RP.
Jeez.
It only does say Mikhail.
Damn. Like, I'm not sick anymore, though.
Are you?
Stop seeing that weird bird guy walking around.
Aldo, like, with his foot, just like pushes something behind the door.
Yeah, no fever, no hallucinations. I'm definitely over it. I've cleaned. I'm not infectious.
You still can't lay on the bed.
Whatever.
How do you get
He
that
just
particular
walks off.
pattern inside the wood with only one piece of wood being used?
I don't know, Koa. That sounds like a question for the carpenter.
Yes, of course it would be. Koa also kicks something behind the door that you can't see.
It's just like Koa looks in the mirror and he's like, "How do you get that kind of?"
Oh, why do you have 10 really shitty chairs in your bedroom?
It's the table.
I like the picture that we're all just standing in our doorways, though, having these conversations, and like we're all just like kicking things behind our own doors.
I pretend to kick something behind my door. There's nothing there. I'm not working on anything.
Just
It's like, make
pile
sure
of
you keep your
Kleenex.
safe distance from others. You might still be contagious. He kicks his girlfriend behind the door.
only one of our kicks elicited an owl response.
Cool. Anyways, so yeah, insanely comfortable bed. Curve rock. When your characters, which I'll get to afterwards, Jake, but curve rock. So prior to the delivery of the bed, I just wanted to get that out of the way so you don't have to be concerned about it. When you go to visit Curve Rock, it's after a considerable amount of time has passed, and obviously, Aldo's going to go there. I don't know if you still intend to bring Mikhail, or if you want to ask Curve Rock whether or not he wants to bring Mikhail, or if you're sending a porter. What's your plan on this?
We're going to send a porter to see if he would like to see Mikhail.
Mm-hmm. And he says, his response is, it'd be an opportunity for him to pay me back.
I give Mikhail the note, and I say, time to get to work.
Pay him back for what?
Obviously,
number
for
of
all of
things.
the kindness he's shown you. Sorry, tried to hold that one together.
Yeah. What the fuck is he talking about?
He did fund the expedition, and we have given him nothing in results. Maybe perhaps it's that.
It's not my fault.
Maybe for tripping and actually removing a blanket from one of his pieces of furniture, taking a long time to bring him a bottle of wine. Him just not liking you in general. Plenty of things I can think of.
We did send the doctor, right? Maybe it's for that. Although it could also be for the
Wait, he paid for the
expedition.
doctor?
Yeah, he did. I told him you were cursed from
Fuck
reading the
me.
books.
Why didn't you just let me fucking die?
Oh well,
Gods.
Well, the valiant few kind of centers around you, Mikhail. You're kind of the heart and soul of this operation.
I can't owe him my life. I can't do that. No.
Based on his age, it wouldn't be for very long. A couple of years.
Let's just get this over with.
You guys get there? They
Oh,
arrive.
Koa's not coming. He's not allowed to come. It's like that Kamala gift or whatever. It's like, do not come. That one. That's what we said to Koa.
Oh, all right. You two have fun, and I'll busy myself in something.
Yeah, Aldo will whisper at you, I told Kervrock lots of lies. I don't need you to tell him the truth.
Oh. Yeah. that would be
Honestly,
why.
fair, I suppose. As I likely would. So I will be around.
Yeah, I'm sure you're very disappointed not to have to go see Curve Rock.
Oh no, quite relieved to be honest. The place is terrible. It makes me feel bad.
Well,
That's
I
why
feel
you shouldn't
bad
come.
now. I don't really want to, leave you hanging. So I guess I could, stay behind with you. It's only Mikhail that's got to do the work, right?
Okay. Look,
It's quite cruel, Aldo, but
I'm not going to tell you not to, but I can't guarantee his safety.
He does have a lot of stuff in his house too. I don't know if that's a bad
It
thing.
does. There is a lot of reasons to be tempted to make something happen.
Fine. All right, fine. You're threatening to kill an old man. Yeah.
I did nothing of the sort.
no, I think it was quite implied. I would advise against it.
You should take a tip from Koa. Like, can you show him how
Would
you
never.
shoved that other counselor? Maybe that might help here.
Dwayne happens to be walking by, brushing his teeth. Huh?
Dwayne does not. Dwayne is out of the house. He's been removed.
He's like looks at you like, oh, and like just turns and walks away.
Oh god, we got a
One,
silence.
it was a slight overreaction. Two, I used a healing potion on him afterward. And three, it was determined to be natural causes, so it was a weird coincidence. I did not, in fact, do that.
Aldo nods at you.
Well, at least you know I'm not going to say anything.
That's wise. Now, I hope you two enjoy your trip to see Curve Rock.
We won't. Pretty tough. Bye.
Aldo tells you where the Birdman costume is in case you want to walk around town in it.
He's gonna spend his entire time in your bedroom, examining your mahogany.
No, he puts on the costume and just jumps on Aldo's bed. Flapping his arms.
Feathers all over.
Oh my god. Explodes the down mattress.
I'm gonna look like Jim Carrey at the end of the Batman movie where he was like pretending to be Batman at the very end.
Yeah.
As the Riddler.
Yeah, I remember that. As the Riddler gone insane. Enigma. What's his fucking name?
Edward Nigma.
Edward Nigma.
The Riddler. Yeah.
Anyways, so back to you guys. When you head over to his house, when he opens the door, he has himself his own mask, if you will, but it's more of like a cloth that's tied around his face. And unfortunately, muscles from it's old. It's the muscle. It makes it so it's hard for you to understand what he's saying, making the encounter that much more frustrating when you're speaking with him. But more importantly, the first thing he says when he gets there, when you guys arrive there, and he goes, "Good, because you are indebted to me with your life."
I have to think. I have to think for Mikhail. You know what? He just does not respond. He just stays quiet and follows Aldo.
He welcomes Aldo.
Aldo doesn't address it either, so
He welcomes Aldo in, and he's not even kind enough to say like one moment or anything like that. But Mikhail gets the vibe that this is a temporary thing, but it doesn't make it any less rude that he invites Aldo in. Aldo walks in and he shuts the door, leaving Mikhail outside.
Okay.
The good news is you left outside alone for a few minutes to just enjoy being alone for a few minutes. Inside Aldo, he says to you,
I do start playing my lute.
inside Aldo, he says, he was like, how do we know he's not still diseased?
well,
Not diseased, sorry, cursed.
I mean, we don't. But sometimes you've got to take a risk for that forbidden knowledge, I suppose, right?
Risks are meant to be calculated. If this disease came from a curse, what's to stop it from coming back? I heard it was
You know,
consumption.
you're right. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? What if you had Mikhail not only help with the translation, but have him do the translation? That way you will get the information without being exposed to anything.
He says, I like to fish.
What do you normally catch?
Take it aback, like he stares at you several moments, like blinking. I don't want it caught for me.
Ah, so you're willing to take the risk. Of course you are. It's your heritage after all.
He looks at you a bit cross, and he's like, "Come with me. And he walks like down a hallway, goes to a room, and he points at a table inside the room. And he's like, bring that outside. And those 3 chairs. The table is something that Koa could probably bring outside. Maybe a little bit of a struggle. If Koa was genuinely trying not to hit the walls or any other furniture like that, it'd be a little bit of a struggle. But Koa's got a decent wingspan. He's a very strong individual. So he also could just carry it out there more carelessly with relative ease. For Aldo, however, who has a strength of
14.
sorry, with a strength of
8.
The idea of grabbing that table, which luckily you have about the same wingspan as Koa, but there is no power at the end of that grip right there. You grabbing this table is like an unwieldy kind of like it is not much power to it. I'm willing to let you roll either a strength check if you want to try to like muscle your way through this with a degree of, like maybe you could actually have it in you to pull this table out there by yourself, or with a higher DC, you're welcome to instead roll a dexterity check. Yes. It's heavy, but maybe you can get it out there with a bit more finesse without smashing into things or scuffing the wall or anything like that.
Nah, we don't do it. We say to him, well, as strong as I may look, I don't want to risk damaging such a fine piece. To be blunt, I cannot carry it by myself, but with your permission, I could ask Mikhail to assist me.
I don't want him in my house. Until the curse is lifted. Until the curse is lifted, I don't want him here.
I need a second. Jake needs a second. Just hang on. How quick you come back with that has just thrown me. I don't want him in my house.
Right? Holy shit, man. Damn.
When
Okay.
Aldo seems to have a bit of a
treatment now.
pause, he says, you go and get your big friend.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go find Tony.
Oh God, that's not what I was suggesting. That's even better.
No, you weren't. You were not suggesting him, but we just can't have Koa getting asked any questions.
Okay, so when you go to leave, he actually steps out with you, but he gives like to Mikhail. He's like, actually, Mikhail, you're still standing in like the stoop, if you will, or did you take steps off the doorstep there?
No, he's still standing up there because that might be irritating.
Okay. He asks you to it's like he's like back off a bit.
That doesn't sound like a question.
Yeah,
but fine,
I
he
said
backs off.
asked, but it was definitely not an ask.
He takes a step back. Still playing,
mhm.
but yeah.
He's gonna come out, and while Aldo goes off, he's gonna stand there and try to speak with you. Roll me a performance check.
Okay. Snake.
It is
Jesus.
an insanely good roll. Do you use one of those plus ones?
Nah.
You don't want the gods to hear this one?
Not for this guy. Unless you guys think I should.
It's not gods, it's otherworldly beings. And there might be some otherworldly beings that you're in contacting while playing in front of him.
I don't think the motherfuckers like me. I don't know if I want to get their attention.
That's
what?
fair. I can give you 2 reasons, Wade. So anyways, the
Chat wants me to use it, or True Initiate at least, and Lance. I don't know. Lance is like a -1.
Hammerhead said, "Fish are friends, not food."
Snaga said, "You out of here."
he did say that exact thing. Yeah.
So I said,
I don't know
"Go
what
for it."
language
Yeah.
it is. I don't know. You guys think I'm clear to use one of the +1s? Hit 30, see what it does.
Don't get to do it very often. Go for
You
it.
might make him, bust out in a dance or something.
Sweet. It'll
Kurt
look
Rock goes from
natural when he
hating you
trips.
to in love.
Oh God. Yeah, I'll use the +1.
What do you play?
Let's see. He'd probably be improvising, so it's not like a known tune. Like, it might be a known tune, but with just some like added flair to it.
Prince of the Modern Mole, Curve Rock, an original piece.
You can probably call it that whatever I'm playing. Oh, he's never heard Mary Had a Little Lamb before? It's Prince of the...
Mary Had Prince of the Modern Mole. It's
No,
Curve
but honestly,
Rock. It's Curve Rock, Prince of the Modern Mole. Curve Rock
he's not
was
like
his
singing.
name.
So
I love that
just
this is a
playing
30
it.
and otherworldly beings are taking notice of Mary Had a Little Lamb.
He's just playing it so well.
Shit on this planet is so bad that a song with 5 notes, they're like,
It's
Bro-
the Fresh Prince of Leshev. That's what it is.
I was going to say, Mary Had a Little Lamb was so moving to the otherworldly beings, Koa. That's why they chose a Mary to be the mother of God.
I didn't know Jesus was canon this time.
No, not yet. But one day, Curve Rock will be the mother of God.
Oof, probably. You know what?
Any other D&D campaign,
He's improvising. He is improvising,
Yeah.
but he is thinking over like he's inspired honestly by like the mole architecture and stuff because he is interested in the stuff that's out here, even though he hates Curve Rock. So that's where it's coming from. But it's
So I
improv.
understand it's the mole architecture, but
Mhm.
because you're inspired by it, and because it's improvisational, all music, even improvised music, it has a background or a base in other music that you've heard before, right? Something that's whole cloth made up
Yeah.
is inspired by other things that because you start with comfort and move from there, right? So that
Mhm.
being said, are you using as the baseline of this known mole like chords or styles or whatchamacallits, or is it one of those? No, I'm moved by the architecture, and so there might be little bits here and there, but for the most part, I'm actually doing more from my childhood, and that style of music is where I'm basing it off of.
Oh no, if he knows like mole chords and that kind of stuff, he'd be using those. Absolutely.
Yeah, you didn't just study music at a college. Your personal thesis is around mole curses, so clearly you were interested in many aspects of their society or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
I just didn't know if that stuff had survived to,
Oh, I
to
mean,
be known.
everything? No. Some things? Sure. Right? It's really difficult to completely erase all aspects of a society, right?
Mhm.
Anyways, so you're doing this, and he actually, as Aldo leaves, Aldo probably looks over his shoulder out of concern and sees him glaring at Mikhail, but that's just because the distance kind of makes him assume it's a glare with the intense stare. But Mikhail's able to play for an extended period of time, and that whole time, however long you want it to go on for Kiken, he's a captivated audience, genuinely listening. Doesn't say a word, doesn't interrupt, nothing like that. How long do you want it to go for?
Probably like 5 minutes or so. He'd want to get through everything that's in his head.
And when it's
before he'd
over,
bring it to a close.
when it's
Yeah.
over, you kind of like finish it, whatever it is. And I imagine you finish it with like, maybe checking the like tuning it or looking at a string that maybe sounded a little bit weird to you. It's not like you flourish and bow or immediately put it away. Like you immediately go to like, checking the instrument and make sure things are fine, whatever. And as you do that, he'll actually ask you, do you have another? And he's keeping a good distance from you, of course. You're outside or whatever. Social distancing.
A handful, yes.
Would you?
Suppose I owe it to you. And yeah, he'll start playing again.
Another similar style, or do you use something a
Yeah.
bit more known?
He'll go more known that time.
Sure. If you're changing up, you're going more known. I imagine you're trying to play to what clearly has captivated his ear. Why don't you go ahead and roll me another performance check? But you've already kind of won him over. I'm going to give you a +5 to this.
Okay.
And you needed it.
Much less.
Is that include the +5?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the 18, or do you want to modify this at all? I assume if you modify it, use a luck.
I would need to luck it, yeah. Are you guys okay with it, or you want me to wait? You want me to hold off?
I mean, if we're about to get access to like his full library of encyclopedias, it might be important. So like,
yeah, okay.
Do you want to guarantee you hit a 20 by using the other +1 though? Or do you just want to luck it?
What else? You guys are. I don't know what else we're doing that we'd need the other +1, but I don't want to be greedy having used the first one.
They expect you're going to use it for healing yourself anyways, so.
Okay, yeah, I'll use it if you're cool with it.
Cool, so you have a 19, and then you're going to roll a luck.
And then 21.
You got a 21, which is the number I was looking for. At the end of it, which, 5-10 minutes longer, however long it goes, maybe even more than that, he is much calmer looking than before. And he says, "That was beautiful. I've heard that tune many times in my life. I've never heard it played quite like that before. That was magnificent."
Oh, thank you.
He nods. He says, "If you don't mind, will you join me?"
Certainly. Thank you.
And he'll go, and he goes to his house and he opens the door for you to come in.
He kind of looks at Aldo like, what the fuck?
Aldo's not there.
Oh, and then he just walks in.
Okay. You shut the door. You're in there for a very short period of time. Take your boots off, all that stuff, go over, da-da-da. He brings you over to the reading room where you see the books are. He says, "Have a seat." So obviously you're not invited to look at the books, whether that you do while he's gone is your choice. And he does walk out of the room, and he's going to be gone for a couple of minutes, right? So do you just stay seated in the couch over in that kind of like sitting room area with all the furniture covered in sheets or whatever? But or do you get up to check out the books? What do you do?
Now he'll behave.
Okay.
He's like obviously like eyeing the stuff, but he doesn't like
But
get up.
Curve Rock has a little ring, little.
I gotta go all the way to the wine cellar to get it.
No. He's theoretically going all the way to the wine cellar. He's going to be gone for a few minutes. That's only in the hallway.
You could lock him in the wine cellar and he could die in there.
Ooh. But no, he's thinking back to when he wanted to snoop last time, and Aldo was like, "Fucking chill." So he'll chill.
Cool, Aldo. You return, and you don't see Curve Rock or Mikhail outside. Alarm bells go off in your head as you realize you left Mikhail alone with Curve Rock when he snapped. Do not want him in the house as quickly as he did before. You're probably, like I said, alarm bells going off in your head as you're arriving with Tony.
I guess I'm gonna look around and see if there's signs of a struggle.
You walk up and you do not immediately see signs of a struggle.
Just
look at Tony.
Remnants of tears and a weird white stain.
I approach the door and knock on the door.
Okay. Well, you said you looked at Tony before you got to the door. You looked at Tony. He says, "Hi."
Hey, Tony.
Hi.
Hey.
Where's the table?
I'm assuming it's inside the house.
He said, "But I thought you wanted the table outside the house."
Yeah, that's why we have to go inside the house to bring it outside.
He thinks for a moment and he's like, "Oh." And then you walk up to the door and you knock on it and he goes, "What are you doing?"
You don't just go into people's houses, Tony.
"I'm a guard." And he opens the door and goes and walks in. Unless you stop him.
Yeah, I try and stop Tony.
Okay. You go to put your hand on his forearm and you realize that it's thicker than Koa's. And you're like, oh, that's a big beefy boy. But I assume you still try to stop him.
What do you do? Take a -8 to every attribute except for strength? Fucking troll.
He's like a full orc, dude. Like, oof.
Do you say anything to him, or do you just like put your hand on him like, no?
I put my hand on him as he reaches like for the thing. I'm like, wait, Tony, remember, you said you're a guard. How did you become a guard?
He goes, because I whooped your ass.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to keep him talking until Cobra comes to the door. So
nice.
So remember what happened to me, Tony? And he just like Aldo started going into a story while we wait.
Yeah, of course. 100% works. No check needed. You roll too high. He's too dumb. Like, yeah, remember you gave me that black, my eye almost popped out of the socket. Yeah, that happened. Sure. Yeah. Oh, you Tony, you're Tony. And he's like, so whatever, you guys are chatting for a bit. And eventually you hear a knock at the door, Mikhail. Do you do anything or you just stay in your seat?
I stay there for now. Do I hear Curb Rock reapproaching or anything?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, I just wait.
Okay. So you wait a little bit. The door gets knocked on a second time or whatever it is, and at one point you swear you heard it open and close for half a second, but that's fine. Eventually,
he's like watching the door at that point. Like shit.
Curve comes back from where he is, and he puts down a bottle and 2 glasses at the table, and then he's like mumbling to himself some really nasty cuss words. At least he pronounced those correctly. In Mol, in Tal, right? As he makes his way over to the door, and he whips it open, and he goes, "What?"
The table removal.
And he looks up, looks down, looks up, looks down, looks up, looks down, and goes, "Oh, none needed." And Tony's
Not needed, Tony.
Like, well, I'm here to move the table. It's not needed. That's okay. I'll do it anyway. He goes, "It's unnecessary." He goes, "It's okay. I don't mind." He's like, "I no longer want you to do it."
Aldo goes, "Oh no, that's right. It was a table moved from a different place. Sorry, Tony." And I'll see if I can lead Tony off to remove the table at somebody else's house.
Yeah, just like point at another house, and you walk off with him.
I start to walk, and then I just turn back around as he's walking.
Yeah, sure. So Tony's like, "Yes, the time that I blah blah blah." When you finally make your way into the room with him, and at one point in time, you see Tony's already walked like 150 feet or so before he stops and looks around confused where you are. Legitimately, like out the window, you see him like turn once, then turns back. He looks at the bottom of one of his shoes, and then very carefully looks at the bottom of his other shoe, and seems very visibly relieved when there's nothing there, and then just shrugs and walks away.
Okay, job done.
Oh, shit. Thought he fucking
This man's a
stepped on
guard.
Well, he gets stuff done. So,
He has the title.
the whole while you're half distracted, while he's talking about it.
Oh my god, Jake, you could make a little mini you and have Tony accidentally step on it.
Oh, stop.
You're gonna find a Fue and dress them up as you and be like, "Tony, I'm shrinking."
Oh my god.
Make a whole little version of Leshev and make him think that he's stomping on the town that he's grown overnight.
It wouldn't even be that difficult, man. You get like a baked potato and just throw it under his foot and say "ow" and then hide.
But imagine if you invited Tony on an adventure and it's like you 3 plus, I don't know, get an extra one in there, and like he goes to sleep in the morning, he wakes up and you 4 are hiding, and like how Fue dressed as you guys, you got so big. Tony, you're growing.
Well, we're gonna figure out how to stop it, Tony. Don't worry. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Fucking
That's so
two
stupid.
intelligence guard.
Uh,
Poor bastard.
then you make it worse by giving him a growth potion in his soup. Anyways. So
That's a very expensive prank.
worth.
I would sacrifice a potato. I don't know about a potion.
Yeah, we've used enough of those on NPCs.
It's a potation. So
Fuck,
anyways.
Mikhail's worth 20 gold a day alone.
All right, back to the game. You guys are while you're there, he's talking to Mikhail and he's popping open the bottle and pouring glasses or whatever it is. And saying some words to you, like asking you about like where you would study to learn that music, and so you're getting some like basic understanding. By the time Aldo's attention kind of like by the time he's done chuckling to himself and he looks back at his attention's back on the room, he realizes that the bottle's been opened, 2 drinks have been poured, and that Mikhail and Curve Rock have glasses in their hands.
Oh, good.
Okay. And and Curve Rock then eventually turns his attention after like a little bit more banter or small talk, whatever it is about music, which you are. I mean, I don't want to put words into your mouth, Mikhail. How are you? Like, are you guarded? Are you open? Like, are you caking it on? Like, how are you handling this sudden, almost like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like bipolar switch that just happened to you.
He would definitely be very guarded at first. But then whenever like he starts getting asked questions and whatnot that actually sort of tap into his knowledge and training and whatnot, he kind of can't help but sort of nerd out. Doesn't go like full manic or anything, but it's like he very openly will answer the questions, and obviously he's sort of excited to talk about it, even though he doesn't like Curve Rock. He likes the subject, so he's probably pretty relaxed by the time Aldo gets there.
With the description you're going with, because it's not in earnest at first, why don't you roll for me a bluff check to try and almost like keep it together.
Alrighty.
It had to happen one day. How are we feeling about that 11?
I mean, it's not great. it's not great, but I mean, he has to beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Roll me a sense motive, Aldo. Wow, it's a sexy sense motive. You get the impression, because now your attention's back on it, you can see Mikhail is as guarded as he is, and he's a bit off-put as he is, but he slowly kind of like melts into it. But you also, whereas Mikhail doesn't notice it as easily because Mikhail doesn't notice it because he's so kind of like in that moment himself, and trying to like work his way through. He's trying to tamper down his thoughts, but is not doing a very good job. Maybe in his mind he thinks he is, but you can see that he's not doing a very good job. One of the other things you notice, Aldo, is that Curve Rock also seems to notice and is unbothered by it. As a matter of fact, it's more than that. One step further, you realize to him, this is normal. People being completely guarded and put off by him and slowly warming up. He might not even realize that that is what they're doing. That might just be a typical social interaction for him, right? So whether or not he's able to, whether or not to him this is something he's aware of and because of like the behind the parts, or aware of and that's just typical for him, you don't know. But his guardedness does not affect him. Mikhail's guardedness does not affect Curve Rock at all. It actually, for this scenario, did not hurt Mikhail. Just didn't necessarily help him either.
Yeah.
You crushed it with your previous rolls, right? So you get a little grace. Back to so you kind of like work your way through it, and eventually he changes the subject over to the knowledge, and he says, "I was told that you have a bit of knowledge hidden in these books, since you failed to find anything in the keep, that instead you found a means of procuring information another way. Show me.
Of course. Your collection is extensive. It'll be easier if I show you one that I've already deciphered. Double check which ones we've deciphered. Orange. I'll just go with the first one. The Orange Volume 3.
Okay. And this is oranges, remind me?
Orange was alchemy.
Cool. So you go over and you're showing him the cipher, and he's like nodding, and he doesn't get uncomfortable that you get close. And he's no longer wearing his... he is still wearing his mask. He only lifts it to take sips, even if you're nearby. But you're... you get close, and you're talking through the details there. And to his credit, he, at the very least, is just nodding along, like doing selling the charisma well enough, being like, yeah, I understand this, whether or not he truly does. But to Aldo, who's watching, you actually think he does get it. And then to Mikhail's, because you're watching it pretty closely, then to Mikhail's surprise, as you go to explain like the next part of a cipher, he like takes over, near the tail end of the explanation, showing there is a degree of competence in what you're describing there. I guess for the first time ever, you see that he's not just an idiot. He certainly has hang-ups here and there for whatever reasons, but he actually does understand this well enough that when you explain most of it, he can complete it. Not well enough to necessarily be able to complete it himself or solve any of these himself. You're doing most of the work here. Either way, so you go through this, and so once you finally explain the cipher well enough so you have like his trust or whatever in it, then you turn and you start showing him what a cipher in a particular area does point out. And he's like, oh, as he sees like little nothing like no huge reveal. It would take hours to give a reveal, right? But you're able to show how this functions, and he's enamored by this. You probably spend the better part of an hour. It's hard to keep track of time, but the better part of an hour going over this with him before you finally have him fully convinced that this is something he's interested in. And he says, and finally he says to you, "How did you discover this?"
It was myself and another historian. It took a long time, about 3-4 days between the two of us, before we were finally able to notice the pattern that I was showing you in some of the words. He already had this volume. It was the only way I even got my hands on one. But time, study, coming from two different perspectives at that. And in some of the ruins, there were pieces that filled in some of the gaps and helped us complete the cipher. Mostly etched in stone.
That's you're the one telling it. That's technically a bluff check, but the DC is so low because actually I don't think you can fail it. Yeah, because Aldo had sold it so well earlier, you actually can't even fail it with an 11, so you don't have to roll. So yeah, he understands, kind of like nods along, and he says, "How many have you deciphered so far?" I can't get too whispery and raspy, just to kill my voice. But
we've done what, 3 so far? Three.
And what is your intention to do with these books after you decipher them?
Hard to say. Right now, I'm just learning. That's my objective right now. Once I have the knowledge, then it'll be easier to make an informed decision on what to do with it. I don't want to go off too early and then find that it's been shared or written in the wrong book, shared with the wrong people.
You can see he wasn't happy with your non-answer until you gave your guarded ending there, and then kind of like nods along, and he says, "Speculate."
I imagine that I'll use it to uncover deeper mysteries. I want to know exactly what happened to the Mole Kingdom. Where all of the rest of the remnants are. Are they just here? Have they been spread further? What brought them down? There's pieces here, but it's not everything.
He thinks for a second and says, "It's not everything because you've not finished it. There's 30 volumes, and you've done 3. You've scratched the surface, and not even a deep scratch."
Correct. But you have 30 volumes.
He nods.
Is there another you'd like me to take a look at while I'm here?
Shakes his head. It's going to take you time to decipher these. How many volumes do you have?
Good question.
Counting.
Don't count the ones that are Nathan's.
Mm-mm.
I count 9 that are ours.
I think that's 9, yeah. Not counting the doubles, of course.
Yeah.
9 by my count.
I don't have long left. I know how old I am. But I also want to know this. Knowledge like this carried with me. If I die soon, I want it with me in the afterlife. If I don't die for a long time, perhaps there's even more I can learn. I want this knowledge.
Isn't there someone you want it shared with? Anyone to pass it down to?
He doesn't answer your question. He just gives you like a solid look. You honestly are not sure if that look is a yes that he doesn't want to answer or a no that he doesn't want to answer. Roll a sense motive, but it's kind of hard to read on this one.
Okay.
I get this too.
Yeah, you're welcome to roll. You guys happy with it?
With a 24, yeah.
Yeah, the DC was actually a 23 on this one. You realize that the answer actually is yes. He does have somebody he wants to share it with. You just don't know who.
He kind of just he seems to like understand for a moment and then says, well, if your time comes before you receive that knowledge, I'd be willing to pass that on to them if you find a way to leave a message behind.
He shakes his head and says, "No. This shouldn't be left in an open. The cipher should not be left in a place that's easily found. It should not be something so openly known. This is hidden for a reason. I agree with what you said. It should be understood before a decision is made." He thinks. You can see he falls quiet, really thinking to himself. He takes more than a few sips from his glass, and if your glass is getting near empty, he will pour to fill yours again, or gesture for you to pour to fill yourself. But he definitely is thinking for a while or whatever.
Mikhail will not interrupt his thoughts.
Okay. Any like quiet glances or whatever with Aldo in the room, or do you kind of keep that to yourself as well?
Like he'll glance over, not like I'm trying to share a message with him, just to be like, just kind of look over and see what he's doing. But that's it.
Okay.
Aldo is just paying attention to the conversation. That's it.
At one point, he picks up the bottle to go and fill his glass, and he realizes that it's empty. And he stands up and he says, "I'll return," and walks off, leaving you guys alone in the room.
Turns out the answer was playing music.
Ah, well, I can see why you succeeded.
That was a hell of an about face. Well, was that Tony earlier?
Oh, yeah. He wanted me to move at the table outside, but I'm guessing that you got your way inside and it was no longer needed.
Yeah, worked out. I would just happen to be playing. Guess it worked out. I should do it more. How many problems can that solve?
Let's put it to the test. All
Yeah,
of a
we'll
deer
have to.
holding hands swaying back and forth while you play in the center. Beltran's heart grows 3 sizes that day.
Oh, good. It'll be a bigger target.
He actually already had a heart problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Well, he knows the cipher now, at least for the alchemy books. I imagine some others will be shared.
I really think you should translate them. Whether it takes a while, this is an ultimate goal anyway, right? I'm sure me and Koa can find stuff to do.
It's definitely worth doing. I don't know if we have time to get through the entire collection. That would take a really long time. I'm not sure how keen he'd be on having them translated into Perrin.
Maybe don't lead with that.
Yeah. But something can be done here. At the very least, we'll have the information.
Yeah, well, that's the play, right?
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, your situation with the midnight milk. I know somebody back home who might be able to give some insight on it. I was going to write some letters after this. Figured I'd send them one, see what they know.
Don't discuss the details of it, though. I think they should just be for us. But
Yeah. Mostly just going to ask what it's supposed to do, what are the risks, that kind of thing, just so we're more informed.
that's fair.
Besides, I guess I haven't talked to him in a while, so good to keep in touch.
It's somebody from your university.
Yeah. Guy they call him Danley. It sounds sort of funny now with the whole Dan song. But he was a good guy. Helped me get around the place when times were tough.
It's always good to have someone like that.
Yeah. Always. He does seem to get kind of absorbed in thought at that point.
Yeah. I guess if anything, Aldo, at the same time, after saying that, seems kind of dejected.
But he goes, well, I mean, I've got you here. So.
Oh,
That's-
no.
That's been nice.
No, that's fine.
Oh, wait. You didn't like being like buddy-buddy with Curve Rock, did you?
He looks at you and just like raises an eyebrow.
Okay. Just making sure.
He leans in, he's like, you can take that mantle.
Sadly, yes.
Only one person ever be friends with Curve Rock at a time. He's got one friend stool, and you guys have been taking turns sitting on it.
I just like tripped and fell onto it. Aldo was like, "It's yours now. You got it. It's too late. You can't give it back."
You're either the friend or the servant. Get to work.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it there.
So he eventually returns. He's got a bottle in his hand, and he seems a little distracted whenever as he comes in. And then finally, he sits down, he pours the glass or whatever it is, places one of his hands in his pocket, and the other one he's holding his glass. He takes a sip, imagine he holds on to it, puts it down, whatever. And he's like, yes, well, the knowledge need be had, and I want it as well. I understand that you are busy flitting about here and there. So, I'll make an offer for you. You can choose which you prefer. If you're willing to stay and help me decipher each one of these, understands the meaning behind each of these books, all of them together, I will sponsor you a position. The blood is old in Leshev, and I can't stand that cuck fox. At least you have culture. However, if the flighty nature of a musician has you chasing tail feathers instead of stuffing foxes, I would be willing to pay you for each book fully broken down with me. Now, again, I understand that you'll be flitting about here and there like that bird man rumors say has been around town.
Other people saw that? Sorry, continue.
He, looks at his glass for a second, takes another sip, and says, I'd be willing to offer you for each book fully deciphered, the true meaning fully understood by me, for 5 gold.
Great face. Both very generous offers. But as you predicted, timing could be a hurdle. I think I need to convene with the others. Only one of them's here.
You're not on the council yet. Convening is conveniently something you don't need to do right now.
Unfortunately, my time is shared.
He says, don't sign up for those. Sometimes they pass after you die. You can't get rid of them. Your children can't get rid of them. They own you.
You
Sorry.
don't know he's old enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my time is shared, and I do have obligations in Han Gwen. May I have the day to think on it?
He thinks for a second. He nods. But you agree to one or the other.
Yes. Certainly.
Then I'll await your response.
Thank
Tomorrow, before dusk.
Of course, Councilman. I'll be here promptly.
He'll stand up and go.
And you get up and walk out with Aldo.
Okay. he stays sitting there. He doesn't he doesn't leave the room to walk you out or anything like that. You guys are just able to go to the door, imagine exchanging glances, but not really saying anything. Then you get your shoes on, your travel cloak, grab whatever weapons you have on you, or whatever other details. I bet you're not really walking around town. You have your rapier, and maybe Aldo doesn't even have a dagger, so he's not walking around with like a crossbow. Then you eventually head out, and as you finally walk to, head to the path in front of his home, you can start speaking to one another.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So many other people have seen that bird, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought I was hallucinating. Why was he in our house?
He was in our house?
Yeah, that's where I saw him. I was sick. I didn't leave. He was walking through the house. How did you guys not see him? I thought I was imagining it. That's why you didn't see them. But if he's real and people see him, the hell is he?
I don't know, but I seen him on the roof. Seen him on the rooftops.
We gotta start locking the door.
Yeah.
That's disturbing. He walked straight through our living room. We're all there. Or at least me and Dwayne were. And the doctor.
Dwayne's seen him too.
He has?
I don't know. You just said he was there.
It didn't seem like he saw him. I thought it was just me. Nobody else seemed
Maybe
bothered.
it's people. Oh my god! Maybe it's people close to death.
Then why have so many people
over.
seen him? And you saw him. You just said you saw him on a roof.
Yeah, but I got really, really drunk, so there's a chance I was nearly there. I don't know how this old liver
lying
holds
to
up.
me, but what the hell? I guess I'm gonna have to ask around about that. Bird?
Yeah, I
What the
mean,
hell?
probably be a number one priority. Find out this bird, man.
I can't be number one, not unless he gets in our house again. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, did you hear that offer? I don't really want to be on the council, so 5 gold a book?
Yeah. Going back to those matters, I guess. Yeah, but he offered to sponsor you a spot on the council. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it. That's the main thing. But the fact that it's on the table,
Yeah,
I don't want it.
Are you sure?
Why are you... I knew you were going to try to convince me. No, I don't want it. I don't want to have to sit up there with all those old crotchety people and have them all hem and haw over decisions. I don't want
all
any
you need
part
to
of
do.
that.
Yeah, but all you need to do is send Koa around to speak with the more ones getting on in age, and soon you're gonna have shorter council sessions.
Yeah, that's how we revamp the council. Oh man, no, I definitely don't want any part of that. I'd rather drowned.
Mm. Yeah, I mean 5 gold a book. That's insane. I wonder though, is this something we can do when we come back to Leshev? Like spend, I don't know, a week or two here, and he allows you access to his encyclopedias. In which case, do we spend time here before going to another keep? That whole thing with the knowledge and this, reading these encyclopedias somehow powers up the ghost, then...
Yeah, and I think that is what the offer is. The first one, I think I'd have had to stay the whole time, do the whole set. But the second one was more just while I'm here, each time we get through a book, fully deciphered, as long as it's shared with him, then we get paid.
Well, as much as I don't love hanging around here, it's slightly better now that I've got my new bed. I mean, maybe we can take a break, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we should.
It's going to be a hard sell to Koa, though.
Hey, he's got to talk to the council about the bridge. That's a fight he picked. So.
Oh, yeah, I was purposefully, trying to, not bring that up around him, but that's a good idea. to do now.
And honestly, I just don't.
Maybe you could tell Curve Rock to like try and delay as well. Just be like, like Koa, he has a fiance, but we got to stick together. And maybe if you just like extend these a bit, you know what I mean? Have a few council, meetings and lively discussions.
Like, he's being nicer, but it doesn't mean I like to hang around him. I don't really want to extend our visits either.
Mm.
Look, the fact that we can earn gold, get information while we stay here, have access to that whole collection, that's reason enough to do it. And besides, Koa, if he really needs to, he can always go to Hod Gwen. I mean, we don't have to go with him.
True.
Much as I'd rather him, not just be traveling by himself. It's not like he didn't beforehand.
Aldo kind of looks at you with like a frown. Yeah, I guess. I kind of like having him around. I'm gonna lie.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice, but I mean, we can't keep him here if he doesn't want to stay. He is engaged now, which is thanks to you.
Yeah.
By the way.
Well, it was coming sooner or later. Just thought I'd speed on the process.
Yeah, it probably was. Huh. He thinks for a second and goes, did anyone try to come check on me while I was sick?
Yeah, heaps of people.
Really? God damn it. Oh shit.
Really need that skill focus there.
I mean, your lady friend obviously would have.
No! I had one chance! Son of a bitch.
Hey, be
Okay.
happy these weren't your fort saves.
Apparently, yeah, heaps of people.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. That's good to know, I guess.
You'd be a popular councilman.
Aldo, I don't want that job. If I get on the council, I will make certain that you get on it too. It will be my life's mission.
He just kind of smiles at you at that. Well, how are we gonna approach this with Koa?
I guess we just tell him the truth. These are our options. And I mean, either way, I feel like I've at least got to stay here for a while. We got to get through some of these books, gets us travel funds, and if we're going to another keep, the more information we have, the better for the Elder.
All right.
I
Well,
think he'll understand.
he should.
How many have you already deciphered?
I think 3, but I didn't actually I didn't actually count when I gave that answer.
So if you were able to successfully say do 3 more, then that's theoretically like 30 gold pieces. Which is a good start, It's also 20% of the volumes, and then you can head out and keep traveling, come back, kind of a thing.
I had like a quick reference thing on here. Okay, yeah, I've done 3. No, actually I've done 4. My bad. I forgot to add the.
There you go. Even shorter gap of time. 2 books. Theoretically, you could bang out 2 books in 6 days if you roll well.
Or no, I failed my last one, so it is 3.
Jesus Christ, Keith.
Final answer, it's 3. Leave me alone.
Now it's 1. You lost 2.
No, it is definitively 3.
All right. Well, we go find Koa if he's at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Koa. Back at home. You're outside chopping wood. You notice, occasionally people will walk by, whatever. Maybe if you notice them, and you know who they are, you might give a smile or a wave, or most probably just ignore them. It's people. But at one point in time, you notice somebody's like really up close to you, like surprisingly up close walking behind you. And as you whip around, you see this large orc man is giving you a hug. Like moves in with his arms out to grab you. And only like last second you realize, like, oh shit, he's trying to give me a hug. You know what I mean? It's up to you whether or not Koa would self-defense / self-offense / just take the hug.
Does he recognize this person?
Not in the moment. It's the action more than the recognition of the person, just because it happened so fast when he turned around.
He keeps one hand free, and he uses the other to pat the man on the back.
Okay.
Almost like a there type of pat. It's like, I'm acknowledging you, but his other hand's like ready in case this is a trap.
Because you pat him on the back, he actually gives you a more firm and seems, at first it's like, oh shit, but then it feels genuine kind of hug. It's not that this person's like insanely stronger than you or anything like that. They're just much bigger. And so that so their strength is just felt, right? It's unusual because Koa's not a small dude. He's standing at a very tall 5'10", meaning anybody even like an inch taller than that would be like a giant. Anyway, so this person giving them the hug, actually with the firmness of their hug back to you, you recognize their voices. They say, "I'm sorry, Koa."
Oh, that's gotta be Tim from accounting.
Yeah, I mean, Tim from accounting, as he backs off from you, you can see it's Tony. That's giving you the hug. And he's like, "I'm sorry."
For what, Tony?
Aldo. He's gone.
Where's Mikhail? What happened? Where is he?
I don't know. He disappeared.
I mean, I know Tony, right? I'm Koa's aware that Tony's not always the brightest. As in he went like around a corner, or
No. We were in the middle of a field. We were at the councilman's house. We were walking. I was we were talking about that time I beat the shit out of him, and the blessings of Martyr herself came down and pulled him from the ground and kept him alive, and in Vinny's name we were able to save him, and then he just disappeared, and that was the end of it. I'm sorry, Koa. I didn't hit him though. We were just talking about it.
I have a feeling he will turn up all right. Perhaps the gods themselves needed to speak with him for a moment, you know?
Shaking his head as you're speaking, and says, I looked for him. Looked all around. Even checked my shoes. I'm sorry, Koa.
Allow me to see your shoes, please.
He nods. He takes one of them off, and he hands it to you. And he goes to start taking the other one off.
Yep, definitely not on this one.
And the other one, he gives it to you. It's only now you realize the boots actually don't match one another.
Nope, not on this one either.
They're similar, just not the same. And he puts them back on. And he says, well, sorry, Koa. If you want a drink, I'll gladly pick up a table for you. We can drink under there. That's what Aldo liked to do. Aldo liked to drink people under the table.
I drink above, below, anyway, yes. Cole wipes the sweat from his brow. I have a bit more work to do here, but I might take you up on that later. But don't fret too hard. Like I said, I'm sure he'll turn up. Aldo has a way about him.
He shrugs and says, I don't think this time, Koa. All right, I'm sure there's somewhere I have to be. Did you need to move a table? Not just for drinking?
Koa looks awkwardly at the failed table behind him. No tables here.
Shrugs and says, okay. I'm sorry, Koa. And then he turns and he walks off, looking, at a normal pace, but just looking downtrodden.
Keep your chin up, Tony. He'll turn up.
He looks at the sky as he walks.
Well, want me to keep your chin up? How did you know that was a table?
Your skill's getting better. Anyways, they eventually return, the two of them.
Ah, you're both still alive. And Aldo,
A while later.
you especially are alive.
Yeah.
Tony's
Not
convinced
supposed to be?
that you were never going to appear again.
Right. Okay.
He had me.
That's
look at
so
his shoes.
Tony.
He thought maybe he stepped on you and you were stuck to the bottom of his shoe.
Right. Well, interesting.
Yes. How'd it go?
Better
Although
than
looks
expected. Yeah, better than expected.